actually want to go ahead and get into the Unicorn Gospel for the week. For those who are new listeners and who have never heard of the Unicorn Gospel, it's basically a segment where I take a verse from the Bible based on how my week has been or sometimes my day, and I find the verse that makes most sense. And this week, it's been a lot of things about just purpose and understanding your purpose and trying to find light in that. So this week's Unicorn Gospel is Romans 12:2. And it is, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. So to me, that means basically, like, everything I've been picking lately is literally like direct. Like, yeah, like the universe will give you the discernment you need if you allow it to, you know, like, but if you allow the things that are going on, like, for example, we live in a world of social media and everybody, hi baby, we got a baby in the house. I think Brandon's trying to steal her. She's so cute. Look, the smallest Melody is in the room. It's so cute. But basically, we don't want to conform to the world. We do not want the Loch Ness monsters and the nasties and the greedy leprechauns to make us look at them and say, hey, I want that too. I want to be greedy. I want all the money. I want all the fame. I want all of this stuff. But you have to renew your mind. You have to allow a transition of your own from the universe. You know, it's going to tell you, and you might not like what the universe is saying to you, but you have to accept that it is what's good for you, you know?
Yeah.
Can you repeat it again?
Yeah.
Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, the universe, unicorns, what is good and acceptable and perfect.
That is beautiful.
So the universe will radiate its joy and happiness, and I always say, like, people say angel tears, I say pixie dust, you know, like, it will come down on you in large amounts if you start accepting what is good for you and listening to your universe, listening to what the skies are telling you, because they're not going to mislead you. We on Earth, the world, this ground stuff, that's what messes us up, you know, because we're seeing stuff every day that isn't for us, and we want it to be for us. So we have to take a moment to say, okay, what's my actual purpose here? What am I supposed to be doing? Is it what the world wants me to do? No, it's never what the world wants you to do. It's what the universe has for you. So that's this week's Unicorn Gospel. You dig? Right. Where's the bell?
Right, there we go.
That Unicorn Gospel was deep, though. Like, I don't know. I feel like the world and the universe are two different things.
Absolutely.
It definitely is.
And like, I feel like it's nothing new under the sun. Like from 1 BC till now, like, you know, we live in a generation to where, like, there are people that are above us that make things happen so we can be consumers of whatever we have going on. So, like, we live in a world where we're on Twitter, goals, this, that, mood. Like, you know, that's being conformed. You know, sometimes you got to just take a break, like you said earlier, from social media just to find out your balance, you know, because you got all these ideas, all these people with their own ideas trying to force them on you. Sometimes you just got to take a break.
Right,
and
I feel like it's
go
so easy
refresh.
to take on energy even through your cell phone.
Especially
like,
if you an empath,
reading,
yeah.
Especially reading is so important to us, even as beings. Like, everything you read kind of resonates within your soul, especially because you're reading half the time with that inner voice, and that inner voice is a very important part of, like, you know, the whole.
You just have to really just take a moment. Like last week when we talked about the feng shui for your life, that I've been practicing it, you know, even though I read it and was like, oh, I'm going to tell you guys ways to do it. I also was telling myself ways to do it. And it honestly gives a little more clarity into situations when you are in situations where you don't know what you want or you don't know how to go to the next place. But if you just give yourself the clarity you need, the time to, like, let your brain relax, because we don't let it relax, especially me. My brain can go, and I literally can be thinking about 10 million things at once, and it starts hurting, you know, because I'm just like, you know, people ask me, like, what do you want? What are you doing? I don't know. You know, I really don't know. And it's not a fun place to be. But when you take the time to try to sit and understand your thoughts and rationalize with yourself about what you did wrong and what you can do better, you know, it all starts to register for you.
I think people have like a very hard time. I don't know. Detoxing is a thing that a lot of people, especially our age, don't take into consideration. I feel like a lot of us, and I went to an interview or like a conversation that Jill is Black and Lupe Fiasco had. And one of the things that stood out to me that he said was that we have a very nihilistic point of view about things. Like we just think the world is going to end. We're waiting for the apocalypse. We're waiting for the end. We're waiting for everything to burn. And it's like you're waiting basically for yourself to burn. Like there's nothing to burn on the outside. The first thing to go is going to be you. Like, and then it'll be everything else. Like the world is always going to sustain itself. The world is always going to make sure it's good. It was the trees. Like even though people didn't like that movie, The Happening, it was probably really bad. It was terrible, but it was so real. Like you don't think animals and plants have survival instincts? You don't think that's gonna start kicking in? That movie was
definitely real.
And it was just talking about like a lot of the things and pheromones and energy that the trees and the animals and the different plants are gonna start releasing. But outside of that, back to the detox part, is that outside the world literally detoxing. We're in Scorpio season right now. Scorpio season is about detoxing, removing, getting to the depth, getting to the bone, getting to the ashes. Like, and sometimes the burning process is really hard. Like a lot of us have drinking or smoking or even sexual habits or bad work ethic. Like you sleep all day or you don't get up early in the morning. A lot of us sometimes don't even know what 9 a.m. looks like on a daily basis. Like, and I gotta get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So I gotta go teach. And I'm just like not looking forward to it. But it's like we have been taught that 8 a.m. or certain times like that were the times to get up. And it's all through corporate brainwash, 1984 capitalism. A lot of us don't know how to let our bodies work the way we want them to. And we feel like we're racing against the clock. And because of social media and a lot of drugs and a lot of things, the time is kind of super warped for us. Like, even though time is supposed to be its own thing for us, it becomes like a everything thing. Like you feel like when you get off the internet or when you stop drinking, you stop going to parties, you missing out. It's like a lot of us can't feel like we can take the time to just be on our own time schedule. Like right now I'm not drinking and right now I'm not eating red meat. I'm trying to keep that forever. You know, when it comes to red meat, I'm definitely gonna have me a nice little drink for my 25th birthday in December.
Go crazy.
But outside of that, I feel like it's always a test. The universe is like, yo, like, you say you're not drinking. Well, your friend just came to your crib with a whole bottle of rum you didn't have to pay for. And you've been, worrying about paying for weed, paying for whatever. Like, and now here it goes for free right here.
And that's when you literally sit and say, you literally have to take a moment before you react. You have to take a moment, and it's something that we can all practice. We are young and growing, and we really think that we know how to do everything. And we say, oh no, I'm good at listening and learning and taking more on, but you're still thinking that you can do everything, and we have to learn. Just because you live in the age of technology is not always what you need to go to. Sometimes you have to go to yourself. And I am a big victim of technology, and I've taken my time to fix my computer. Like, I've let my phone die a few times where I have like a influx of messages, and I'm just like, okay, it's cool. Like, I'll get to you when I can. And I'm getting more to myself, more to my happiness, more to my career and the things that make me happy, like having awesomely cool people on the show.